I'm here to help you create great music. And I'm not talking about this plugin is so nice. No, I'm talking about Stravinsky level type of music. Stick around because you want to watch this.
I know, over the last 4 videos, I've been a bit of a nightmare for the traditionalists and for all other composers that are selling canned recipes on YouTube. I've called the most useless concept in music ever. I reduced tonality as a template. I've poked fun at the sacred rules of chord notation. And I've been pretty unapologetic about it. Let's step back a little bit. If you felt a little bit of friction, that was by design. It was necessary. Most of what you see online these days is a notion of ready-to-use templates. Quick fixes that promises you that you're going to become a better composer by following more rules. There are thousands of videos teaching musicians things like 10 chords you should master or why you should write your melody first. I mean, come on, why this obsession with there's a right way to do things? My goal was not just being bold for the sake of being bold. I was desensitizing you to that thinking box so you could finally look outside of it. I've been saying this since the beginning. A composer needs to develop the right mindset for composing, and they have to have the right amount of concepts in their toolbox. Perhaps just the basics, or even better, not even knowing all the rules that at some point you realize, oh, I have to break this rule, so don't even know them. Exactly, because originality requires freedom, and freedom requires disobeying rules. Composing is disobeying, remember? But now that we cleared the wreckage of those myths, we can finally move past simply collecting templates and start exploring truly deep concepts in composing.
In the last episode, we already started that journey by rethinking how intention and structure form the very foundation of what music is. Today, we continue that discussion by introducing what is commonly referred to as emotion in music. But here, we want to understand it for what it truly is, a manifestation of the relationship between perception and memory. Think of your brain as a relentless prediction machine. It's not just sitting there enjoying the music, it's constantly calculating the probability of what happens next, scanning a massive internal library of every pattern you ever detected. When you listen, your brain is running a real-time comparison. It takes the raw sensory input of the now and slams it against those stored music patterns. This creates a physical cycle of tension and release. When a music passage fulfills your expectation, you feel a sense of relief and safety. But when it artfully defies it, well, that's where the spark happens. The friction between what your brain predicted and what actually hit your ears, and the same friction contradicting what's coming next, that's what you perceive as emotion.
The meaning of what you hear isn't the sound itself. It's constructed at the intersection of your past memories and your brain's active attempt to map out the future of the passage.
But here's the catch. To understand this friction, we have to look at the only place where it actually exists. Not in the past that we already filed away, and not in the future that we're trying to guess.
I want you to stop for a second and ask this. Have you ever listened to a piece of music in its entirety? If you said yes, I've got some news for you. You have not, and nobody ever has.
Why? Because music's now is the only thing that you actually hear. That tiny sliver of vibrating air hitting your eardrum at this exact millisecond. That's it. The rest of the piece, the beginning you already heard, is just a ghost in your memory. The ending you haven't reached yet is just a projection of your expectation. This is what music perception really is. Music happens in an eternal now, but truly it lives only in our memory, in our expectations. When you hear a complex, shifting texture, like those found in Ligeti, your brain starts to panic. It's trying to take a snapshot to store it in your memory so it can make sense of the past. But the sound is already moving on. The tension you feel isn't coming from a chord progression, it's coming from the physical struggle of your memory trying to grasp a disappearing image. Now imagine a familiar melody played on a piano that's horribly out of tune. Your survival instinct is predicting the next note based on the past, based on what you know, but the vibrating air of that millisecond says it's something else. That friction between the ghost of your expectations and the reality of the now is where the most honest human emotions live.
And this is the epiphany of music composition. Music is made of stuff, and this stuff is nothing more than the projection of our human experience.
And all these templates we've been mocking, they are just memories, put into labeled cans. Are they bad or good? Neither. We need them. Our brains beg for them all the time. We want to feel the protection of home. When we match that anticipation, we feel safe, protected. Yes, music is in a way a manifestation of our survival instincts.
Seeking that protection and introspectively observing our emotions in that process. We need to know and understand better past patterns so we can better recognize them and predict them in the future.
So while we decide to create our compositional choices, is directly related to our decision to challenge our safety instincts. It is how much we decide to search for transcendence in the wilderness of the unknown, or we stay safe, protected in our templates. We listen with survival instincts, seeking the comfort of the familiar. We write with immortality instincts, seeking to imprint our existence into the wilderness of the future.
And this might be the moment that we answer one of the first questions we did in this series. Do you want to please your audience momentarily, making them feel comfortable and safe within standard templates? Or do you want to lead them into unexplored territories, imprinting their existence and yours against the test of centuries? So let me know in the comments who you are trying to please. What is your music project? Are you trying to resist the test of centuries? Thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next part of this course. And don't forget, composing is disobeying.